Our experts were all over this on Sportsline in terms of the under and the spread. Mike McClure, our Sportsline analyst, had all of that. Nikola Jokic, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists. Jamal Murray, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. And how about this fun fact? Jokic and Jamal joining Magic and James Worthy in 1987 as the only teammates with 25 points and 10 assists in an NBA Finals game. In 1987, the Lakers won the finals over the Celtics. The head coach of the Lakers was Pat Riley. Pat Riley now, of course, in the front office with the Miami Heat. And the Miami Heat find themselves down 0-1 in this series because they could just not get anything going. Started the fourth quarter on an 11-0 run, but Denver absorbed it, and they were able to hold serve in game one. But a great performance from Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray to set the tone in game one. Get some instant analysis. Welcome in former NBA Coach of the Year Avery Johnson. As a player, helped the Spurs win the NBA championship in 1999. Avery, Denver dominant in game one, overwhelmed Miami offensively and defensively. What did you see?
Well, one of my keys, Hakeem, coming into tonight's game was the ball had to find Aaron Gordon. It did, and he made the Miami Heat pay. He was too big, too strong. They're going to really have to figure out that matchup, especially in the first quarter. He was dominant inside in the paint catches, playing the high-low game with Jokic, coast-to-coast drives. Aaron Gordon was the reason why the Denver Nuggets won this game tonight, because we always think that the NBA is a fourth-quarter league. Trust me, I played in the NBA 16 years, coached in the NBA for 10 or more years. It's also a first quarter and a first half league. And then also, you got to give the Denver Nuggets credit. Max Strus was what? A donut. He scored the same amount of points that I scored tonight. 0. He was 0 for 6 from 3. He was shooting blanks. They did a really nice job of defending the three-point line. And also, the Miami Heat only attempted 2 free throws tonight. Not one starter attempted a free throw. And the 2 guys, Strus and Caleb Martin, who was vital in the production and the success for the Miami Heat, they were combined 1 for 17 from the field. So the role players didn't show up. The Denver Nuggets were rested and ready. They didn't make as many threes as I thought tonight, probably because of some rust. But if Jimmy Butler's going to play the way he played tonight, passive, more of a passer, the Heat are in trouble.
Yeah, because Aaron Gordon had said coming into the NBA Finals that Jimmy Butler was arguably the toughest matchup that he had ever had to guard defensively. He knew what he was in for. He and the Nuggets keeping Jimmy Butler in check in this game, because you saw what Denver's able to do. Their pace, and then you're able to dictate the tempo. That's what they did. You saw that in the first quarter. Aaron Gordon scoring 12 points. They shot 59% from the floor in the first quarter, 60% for the first half. I want to keep you right there because you mentioned something that's going to come up over the next couple days. Miami with only 2 free throw attempts. What do you make of that?
Well, just too many bad threes. And, you know, when you're taking and missing bad threes, you're not going to ever get to the free throw line. And if you don't offensive rebound enough, and Bam Adebayo, you got to give him credit. One of my keys to the game tonight was Bam going for 25 and 15. He lived up to it. But when you're just out there just launching bad threes, you're not putting the ball on the floor, trying to aggressively go to the basket since you're not a traditional post-up team, you're not going to attempt many free throws. And that's primarily Jimmy Butler. There were so many times, even my wife mentioned it, there were so many times in the post, Jimmy Butler was not even looking to score. He was just looking to kick the ball out to three-point shooters. And if he's not going to be a scoring threat, especially in the paint, you're not going to attempt many free throws. So we'll see what type of adjustments Erik Spoelstra makes. Remember now, this is the series, unlike the last series, when Erik Spoelstra was coaching against a rookie head coach in Joe Mazzulla, and then Coach Malone was coaching against a rookie head coach in Darvin Ham. Erik Spoelstra now is coaching against a veteran coach, and we'll see what type of adjustments he makes for game 2.
Does Cassandra think the Miami Heat have any chance in this series? Because I'm probably going to agree with whatever she says.
No, Miss Cassandra did not pick the Miami Heat to win this series. She thought they would do a little bit better in game 1. But and I'm bringing Miss Cassandra with me to Miami for games 3 and 4. So we'll see what happens. She's rolling with the Denver Nuggets right now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, this might as well be a sweep. How does Miami win a game in this series?
They got to knock down threes, but good threes. And I think Jimmy Butler, he's got to be that playoff Jimmy, especially the one that, dropped 50-plus points against the Milwaukee Bucks. He wasn't really looking to score in that game. So I think he's got to put on blinders. Jimmy's got to come out and go for 40 in game 2 to give their team a chance to win. If he comes out with that type of mentality, he's going to require harder traps. And if he requires harder traps and triple teams, then those three-point shooters, they're not going to have as many Denver Nuggets defenders closing out to them. They'll have more wide open point-blank threes instead of the contested threes that they attempted tonight.
Well, and I want to bring up a moment in the third quarter. Jamal Murray drives, kicks back to Nikola Jokic to beat the shot clock to make it a 71-55 game, and that was really representative of how they controlled this game. They were knocking down shots. They were getting the defense in a bad position, and you saw what Jokic was able to do. He's a great scorer, right? 27 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists. That's the most in an NBA Finals debut. 14 assists. You look at the numbers. He now has 9 triple-doubles this postseason, 15 for his career. The 9 is a record this postseason. How is his passing ability wreaking havoc into these NBA Finals already here in Game 1?
Yeah, for some reason, the Miami Heat didn't do what we titled rush the passer. When you just play in a zone off of Jokic, he'll pick you apart. You got to rush him. You got to make sure that it's like red beans on rice. You got to get on top of him. You cannot allow him to just, pick you apart. You got to force him to put the ball on the floor, and then you got to have what we call appropriate switches. You can't have miscues on your switches, because if you do, then you're in trouble. And then the backside of your defense, you got to know how to rotate. And I wish I can diagram it up for the audience, but you got to be able to rotate accordingly to make sure that you know where the guys that are spot up three-point shooters, like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, any of those guys, you got to get to those guys in a hurry.
Yeah, Jokic sets the tone here in Game 1. Another triple-double. Meantime, the star for Miami, Jimmy Butler, a playoff low, 13 points this playoffs as Aaron Gordon keeps him in check. Rest of the Nuggets. Avery, what do you got on that?
And the last thing is, they didn't really make the Denver Nuggets defense work enough.
Yep.
A lot of times you got to move the ball from side to side. You can't just try to score on the strong side, on the first side. A lot of times in a series like this, because I've coached in the NBA Finals, I've played in NBA Finals, sometimes it's about the third side. You're not going to beat the Denver Nuggets trying to score on the first side. Okay,
you've been in a locker room like this, and I want to say I don't want to hear coaches speak. Even though you are a former NBA Coach of the Year, I want you to shoot it straight here and give it to me straight. Aside from saying we've still got a long way to go, what's the message from Michael Malone after Game 1?
Do not let up. You're playing against a team that has a serious championship culture. And basically turn off your cell phone. Turn off this ring on your cell phone. Do not believe everything that the media is saying about you, because it's the first of 4. If it was the first of 1 game, it was single game elimination, you win the championship. Hey, let's have a parade in Denver. Let's go up to Beaver Creek and let's go up the Vale, have a great time. But it's the first of 4. It's not the first of 1. So come back, watch film tomorrow, get your treatment, and really look at this film honestly, and look at it as if you lost, so that you can make sure that you have that certain type of edge and integrity and fierce force and competitive spirit coming into game 2.
Well, I hope they watch us, because we've got plenty of good things to say about Michael Malone and the Nuggets. We're giving them praise, but you don't need any praise. You still got 3 wins to go. But Denver dominant here in Game 1 to take a 1-0 series lead. Avery Johnson, former NBA Coach of the Year, breaking down for us here on CBS Sports HQ. Avery, thanks.
My pleasure.
Denver improves to a perfect 9-0 at home this postseason. 13-3 overall. They have now won 7 straight against Miami. Game 2 coming your way Sunday before the series shifts to Miami next Wednesday with Game 3 and Game 4.